I had a dream about Sodom on the morning of the 13th. The Lord gave me a dream last night, the early morning of the 13th. It was about Sodom, but he kept saying cedar to me and spelling it Sedom. He was impressing me Sedom, like the cedars. I saw the word Sedom in my dream. He kept putting the words Sodom and Sedom together like a puzzle. The Lord sends messages to me in Gematria. The dreams I usually get are these puzzle dreams where he tells me to put words together and I can clearly see and understand what they are in the dream. Those two words together, Sodom and Sedom, equals 316. 1120 is 316 on the Jewish calendar this year, and that is one day after the blood moon on 1119. Sodom and Gomorrah equals 1080. November 19 equals 1080. The dream I received was the word Sodom and Sedom together equals 316. 1120 is 316. Sodom and Sedom. They have been messaging 1116, 1119, and 1120, and I will show you the codes in a little bit. Sodom and Gomorrah equals 1080, and November 19 equals the same, 1080. There will be a blood moon on the 19th, 1119, and it's the longest of the century. You can see there 1119, blood moon eclipse. 1119 equals Elijah the prophet. And just a reminder, Sodom and Gomorrah, which I dreamt of, equals 1080. November 19 equals 1080. They both equal 575 in Jewish, which equals trumpet. The Lord gave me a dream about Sedom. Sodom equals 316. We just saw them doing the painting ritual in the Dead Sea where they painted everyone white. They have been coding the story of Sodom and Gomorrah.
Using and working with the brave participants to form salt pillars, which reference the salt pillars formed by springs in the Dead Sea when fresh water enters the Dead Sea, which we need a lot of. And also, it references the biblical story of Lot. The biblical story of Lot.
It is a nude photo shoot by renowned American artist Spencer Tunick.
Spencer Tunick equals 635. Elijah, it's spelled wrong, Elija, is also 635, as you can see there. Spencer Tunick equals Elijah.
By renowned American artist Spencer Tunick.
They specifically used his name to code Elijah because Elijah, the prophet, equals 1119. 1119, we have the longest blood moon of the century. And then, so why are these two stories connected? You'll see why later. Sodom and Gomorrah equals 1080. November 19 equals 1080. So they called it a naked photo shoot. That equals 1116. 1116 is 3 days to the blood moon. They coded naked photo shoot 1116. Elijah is 1119, and we know that there's 3.5 days from when he's killed till a voice from heaven says, "Come up here," which I believe is symbolic of the worldwide rapture. At that point, there'll be an earthquake. Sodom and Gomorrah equals 1080. November 19 equals 1080. Spencer Tunick equals 635 equals Elijah. It's spelled wrong, but you get the point. The date 1119 is associated with prophet several ways. Number one, Elijah the prophet equals 1119. The second longest eclipse in this century was on 7/27/18. 7/27/18 to 11/19/21 is 12/11 days. 1211 is martis, or the witness, martis. It also equals martyr. There seems to be an important pattern developing with that number and the eclipses. From the Great American Eclipse 12-14-20 to 12-14-20 was 12-11 days. From 12-14-20 to 4-8-24 is another 12-11 days. The elites were definitely telegraphing this with the Kobe death story. I laid out all the 12-11 date ranges for you to see, and I'll give you a link to this. There's a very specific pattern going on here with the tetrads. So you can see there's a tetrad starting on 4-15-14, but there's another one here started on 5-26-21. Ending on 11-8-22. And the pattern is the same, 176 days, 177 days, 178, and it's the same pattern on the other side. There's a total solar eclipse, 12-14-20, is 340 days to 11-19-21. And we all know that Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash. And helicopter equals 340 in Gematria. So 340 days, and the Gematria is 340. Let me just show you this first. Helicopter, 340. You're just going to have to take my word for it but when I was working on all the Kobe Bryant codes, I kept seeing Kobe Bryant wife in the codes. You know how they code all the stuff in their shows and on the Daily Mail. And there was they just coded so much during that time that Kobe died, and I followed closely. So I just want to show you that his death, and I saw the Kobe Bryant wife code because they talk to each other in Gematria codes. He died on 1/26/2020, supposedly, to 11/19/2021. Is 663 days. So you know how I'm always showing they do stuff in reverse. Well, wife is 366. Kobe's death to 11/19/21 is 663 days. Wife is 366. So that is just this backwards, okay? Because Isha is the word in the Bible for woman, wife, female. So wife. I kept seeing Kobe Bryant wife in the codes, okay? Let's pull that up so I see if I can remember anything else. You could see it's in my search because they just kept coding it over and over and over again, and I didn't really know what it meant. You can
is just in shock and disbelief, trying to process what has happened today and make some sense of this.
13-year-old daughter equals Satan being born in November. OV for November. Is this when Satan will fully incarnate in Barack Hussein Obama?
Gigantic loss. Here's what we know right now, and even though it has been several hours, it is still stunning to say the words that Kobe Bryant.
Many of the phrases associated with this story was a code. Los Angeles was one of them. The 12-14 eclipse to 11-19 is 340 days. 340 is helicopter. Los Angeles was a code for 12-14-20 eclipse because it was 328 on the Jewish calendar last year, and Los Angeles equals 328. So they were coding and letting each other know using the helicopter code that 12-14 was a 340 equals helicopter, 340-day countdown from 12-14-20, which was 328, to 11-19-21. 340 days, 340 equals helicopter. The other code, they chose this carefully for Los Angeles, is 109. Okay, there's a reason. 109 equals Saturday. 11-20, the day after the 340th count, is 109. Lot's wife also equals 109. So Los Angeles 109, Saturday is 109, and Lot's wife is 109. Interestingly, 1119, November 19 equals 1080, and Sodom and Gomorrah equals 1080. I have it all mapped out here. You can see there are 2 tetrads here, starting in 2014, and then we have 4 blood moons as well. We have a total solar eclipse on 12/14/20, which that was 3/28 on the Jewish calendar, and 3/28 equals Los Angeles, part of the Kobe death coding. He died in a helicopter crash. Helicopter equals 340, and it's 340-day count from the eclipse that was coded by Los Angeles being 3/28, and 12/14/20 was 3/28 on the Jewish calendar. So it's 340 days to the longest blood moon of the century, 11/19/21, which equals Sodom and Gomorrah, which is why they just did that ritual out in the desert with the white paint, which is why I had the dream of Sodom and Sodom, because Sodom and Sodom is the day after, which is 3/16. He just gave me those words to confirm these dates that I had been seeing. 3/16 is 11/20, okay? So 11/19 starts 10 days. So the Antichrist placed the pig on the altar on Kislev, which is 15, which is 3/15, which is 11/19, which equals Elijah the prophet. The blood moon is on 11/19. 11/19 equals Sodom and Gomorrah. November 19 equals Sodom and Gomorrah. So November 19, Sodom and Gomorrah equals the same. They're both 1080. Okay. Trumpet equals Sodom and Gomorrah. You can see trumpet right there. Trumpet equals Kobe Bryant, 678-113. Kobe Bryant. So it's all a web of gematria, and they're very skillful at this, and they would have calculated this all and known exactly what was coming in the future. Kobe Bryant. Now, Kobe Bryant equals Abomination. See this right here? So the trumpet lines up with Abomination. Okay? And then of Desolation is Kobe's full name. If you add Bean, Kobe Bean Bryant. Okay, and that equals 810, which equals of Desolation. Sorry about the staticky background noise, you guys. I'm just having recording issues. I'm telling you right now that the George Floyd story was also a code for the upcoming Kislev 15 and Kislev 25, the same exact dates that the type of Antichrist, Antiochus Epiphanes, did the Abomination of Desolation event in 168 BC. George Floyd incident is completely tied to this, and I'm going to show you how now. The death footage, I noticed the cameraman was zeroing in on some words on the cop car watch.
What do you want?
I can
See
breathe.
this?
Please,
Paulus.
leave my dick. I can breathe.
So, and then it went again to show Paulus. Okay.
Well, get in the car.
All right. The reason why is because they meant to show that. Paulus is 229. Police without the CE. The Minneapolis word. Okay. Minneapolis is the city. Polis is in that word. And Elijah 125. Okay. So that's another, so because Polis, I took Polis out of Minneapolis. So they're hiding Polis. They meant to code Polis. Elias, see what I mean? Elias is another word for Elijah. So this is a code all pointing to 1119. 1119 equals Elijah the prophet. Paulus, 229. What else is 229? Semeion is 229. Semeion in the Bible means sign, but they were using it for the numbers because 543 is Semeion here. Okay, I'll show you Semeion, sign, a sign, okay. So the cameraman zeroed in on these words, Paulus, okay? And then there was a couple other times, I'll try and remember how they did the 229 number that day. I'd like you to notice 71 here. We'll get to that in a minute. Right now. Okay, so November 16 is also the other date that I keep seeing. All right, and so that on the Jewish calendar is 3/12, okay? So March 12th is what day? The 71st day of the year. 71, and so that's what I said I would show you. But 71 also equals thief. Ganav, thief. I sure hope that's the case. So this was a code for Semeion, which is sign. And they were pointing to the original number here, 543, okay? Because the date count from his death, 5, his name is coded too. Five, 25, 2020 to 11/19, 2021 is 543 days. Okay, that is why the cameraman focused on POLIS on the police car. Breaking the word up, Minia equals 125 equals Elias, that's Elijah. Paulus equals 229, that equals sign. And it's Semeion, it's 543 in the Hebrew, and so that date, 5/25/20, 543 days to 11/19/21, which equals 1119 equals Elijah the prophet. Okay, so you can see right there, 543 days, 525, George Floyd to 11/19, blood moon is 543 days. Remember the artist said the biblical story of Lot? Well, Abomination of Desolation matches the biblical story of Lot.
Anything this hour? We want to check in with Chris. How you doing,
Chris?
bud?
How you feeling? Yeah, how you feeling?
Doing Noah. So ridiculous. I'm doing Noah. Equals 248, which equals this, which equals, that's why the Lot story came up, and that's why they did that segment on it. What was that again? Okay, so November 19, it matches Sodom and Gomorrah. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just bringing this out, and I'm showing you. They're pointing to it. They're pointing to it. It just happens to be the date in history that an Antichrist type figure did a Abomination of Desolation type event spanning 10 days. I mean, the 15th to the 25th. So Kislev 15th. So that would be our November 19, it would be also November 29, which equals the Metaverse, okay? And then what does meta mean? Meta equals Obama image.
How you feeling?
I'm doing well. The beast comes at night.
My dream. I dreamt God was telling me to put these words together. Sodom and Sedom. That equals 316. November 20th, okay, is 316 on the Jewish calendar. 16th, so 316. So what is March 16th then? March 16th is the 75th day of the year. So, equals night. The beast comes at night. The beast comes at 75. 75 is March 16th. 1120 is 316 on the Jewish calendar.
But weather would right now.
So you see the time here talking about the tangled web of Gematria, all pointing to 1119 and 1129, the dates of the abomination being set up and the abomination happening. Kislev 15, Kislev 25. See this 504 here? Remember the fire in paradise? The fire in paradise was 11/8 2018, okay, to 5/4 2020 was 543 days. Remember, I showed you that the stories were always tangled, and I knew they were. I just had to, it had to be revealed to me finally, and it was. Okay, so here's the date of George Floyd to 11/19 2021 is 543, okay? So let's add that on the timeline so you can see it. So I filled it in here. Now I understand why they were coding 21. Okay, I'll show you a segment with Jimmy Fallon.
I met Kobe when he was 17 and I was 21. He was.
He said IB because IB is a code. IB is 11
Kobe.
and 66. Phonetics. IB equals two master numbers. 11 and 66. The Kobe cartoon was 1166 days before he died. Okay, stop. So the Kobe cartoon was on 11/16, which I'm telling you, they are now coding 11/16.
It is a nude photo shoot by
and 11/19 and 11/20.
I met Kobe when he was 17 and I was 21. He was
21, there's the code.
a rookie on the Lakers and I was just starting out in the comedy scene in LA.
So these are all the Kabbalah codes, and then the 21 was important because remember the campfire, 543 days to 504, which is the time they put on the broadcast of Kobe's death. 21 days to money date, George Floyd, 5/25, 2020. 525 equals money and Gematria. Okay, so now let's count from $319 days from 726. And then, so that landed us at here. And then that's 162 days, which equals money. Very tangled web. The codes are about money. The codes were money because 525 was money. Money 162 days from 6/10/21. Derek Chauvin's birth date was supposedly 319. His Gematria is 726. From 7/26/2020 to 6/10/21 was 319 days, okay? They were coding, so this is a complex map leading to, here I need to fix that, to 1119 to 1129. 1129 equals the Metaverse. they specifically name these things for certain reasons, okay? So that's 10 days in between this. So let's just go ahead and add that right now while you guys are with me. And so I'll just talk for a few minutes. This is a complex roadmap that they've created that are pointing to the Abomination of Desolation event. If it isn't this year, we can look maybe forward to next year because of how perfectly this is all lining up. I would completely be baffled if it did not happen here coming up shortly. I do believe this is, but if not, they do code in advance, and so we can look forward to this same pattern happening next year, but I do believe it's this year. I do believe it's time. So you see that the campfire 11/8/18 was 543 days to 5:04, the time that was shown when they were broadcasting Kobe's death. So you see that right there, 5:04, Calabasas, California. Now, okay, so George Floyd, 5:25 to 11/19/21 equals 543 days, okay? So there's a 21-day time frame in between that, and I'm going to show you how Jimmy Fallon coded that at the time of George, when they were covering his death. Okay, now George Floyd equals money. His death was 525 equals money. Let's add this right now. 726 is the Gematria for Derek Chauvin, okay? 319 was his birthday. And so we're going to add 319 days right now. So July 26, finally all came together. July 26, we're going to add 319 days to that, okay? So July 26, we're going to add 319 days. And then there we arrive at Eclipse that I haven't added here yet. So I knew this was significant. So 6/10/21 Eclipse, okay? So that's 319 days. Now 162 equals money. And then so from 6/10/21 to 11/19 is money in Hebrew. 162, money, 162, and George Floyd was killed on money, which is 525, okay, money, 525. So it's all a roadmap to 11/19, 11/29, the dates of the abomination. Will it repeat is my question. So why don't we figure out now then the date of 7/26, which they coded with Derek Chauvin. So look, Derek Chauvin, okay, 7/26. His birthday was 3/19. 319 days from 7/26. You add 319 days. You arrive at the eclipse 6/10/21, and then after that it's 6/10/21. 6/10/21. 162 days. 162 equals money, which they coded with the George Floyd event, which happened on 5/25. 5/25 equals money, and then 5/25 to 11/19/21 is, which is also money, is 543 days, which ties into the George Floyd event where they coded the 229 for Paulus, which they showed cut off on the police car. The video person who was taking the video trained on it, went away, and then trained back on cutting off these words in the viewfinder. Paulus 229 and Simeon equals 229, and then Simeon here equals 543. Okay, 543, Simeon sign. It's all a map. And then we have 21 days between the 11/8/18, 543, Simeon sign, Simeon sign. We have 21 days in between. Now let's go look at the Jimmy Fallon clip.
The lives of 9 people, including that of Kobe Bryant and his 13-year-old daughter, Gianna. Kobe was such a life force, so strong and creative and inspired that in my head I thought that he was going to live forever. I met Kobe when he was 17 and I was 21.
So what they did is they counted 543 days from campfire, and that was 504. That's why you saw the 504 on the Kobe reporting. And then there's 21 days in between that and George Floyd. And then there's another 543 day count to 11/19, okay? $11.29 is the Metaverse, okay? And so that is Kislev 25, the day that the pig was sacrificed in the temple, on the temple of God. They showed a picture of the temple on 4/4 on some papers that Deborah Burks was holding, okay? Okay, on the time last call cover, we see a blizzard. Look at the snow. Okay, look at the snow. Blizzard equals 1116, okay? That's why I'm seeing 1116, I'm seeing 1119, 119, 116, 1120. Let's go over those codes really quick. This one's really obvious. Dua Lipa, shields behind a face mask and sunglasses. Just look at her face. That's obviously that's what she's doing. So let's take that code. Sorry. 11.9. Okay, let's move to the next one. Okay, this one, the coded article says that she was shopping with her bags packed with groceries to a 21. That looks like a 20. So the exact quote was bags packed with groceries. It equals May 17th, and I'll show you why. Bags packed with groceries. May 17th. Now this is why. It is because 1116 to 517 is 3.5 years. We just saw the blizzard. Blizzard equals 16, I mean. All right, so 11/16, 2021 to 5/17, 21 equals 25. I'm sorry. 3.5 years. Okay. That's why they're coding May 17th. On my 4/4 video about the image of the beast performed, just search for that one. I did talk about May 17th there, so they have been April 13th and May 17th. I have been talking about this since last year, okay? So they are recognizing May 17th as being, it looks like it is an important date for the 3.5 years at this point. It matches exactly the code, bags packed with groceries. Okay, so that's 3.5 years there. So we're seeing the 11/16 code right there. Let's move on. Okay, so this article stated that she had her hand on her hip. Okay, hand on her hip. Let's look that up. 3/13 is equal to November 17th, one day after the 11/16 codes that we've been seeing. Let's look at another one. Okay, they keep doing hoop, like for the hoop earrings, they keep coding the hoop is this, which equals to, I believe that's November. So yeah, so 3/24. So you can see that with hoop. So the Gematria hoop, there you go, 3/24. Stands for 11/20. And then there was also a code with her dress here. Okay, so this stated she was wearing a strapless black gown. Okay, and that is equal to November 16th, which is 3.5 days from November 19, or see, it's the exact same. November 19th or 20th, which is why they're coding both. So everybody just be prepared in case something happens. I did receive that dream, okay? Every time I start seeing codes, I went to bed that night praying. I said, send me something if I need to warn about this. I'm just looking to see. Oh, the beast comes at night. I already did that one. November 19. Which one is this one? Oh. Black tights and heels. They're just doing the usual like they do. Black tights and heels. Is equal to that 1080 code, which is Sodom and Gomorrah, but it also equals November 19. We'll just do Sodom and Gomorrah just in case any of you guys forgot. November 19, and then Sodom and Gomorrah, and I had a dream about Sodom and Gomorrah. 575 equals trumpet, okay? See? Right there. 678 equals abomination, and it equals Kobe Bryant. The video is long enough. There's no real need to go on from there. They have been coding this excessively. I did receive a dream after asking for confirmation. I do not know exactly when things will happen. I do not know why they're coding 3.5 days from November 19, but I do know that 1119 or 1119 equals Elijah the prophet. I know this date range, what's going on now, let me pull up my timeline, is marked everywhere with Martus, which is witness or prophet. So you can see all of the eclipse timelines. It's heavily marked. There's 3 date ranges from the eclipses with 12-11 days, okay? We saw them coding the 340 with the helicopter crash. Very complex interwoven codes between the 3 events last year, between the White House presentation, 4/4, Kobe's death, and George Floyd. All of the codes intertwined to reveal that everything is pointing at here. The Metaverse reveals that they are also pointing here. Metaverse equals 1129. The naked photo shoot on 1116, they were pointing to it in the Time magazine cover with the storm in view. There was a blizzard. You could see snow piling up on one side. Blizzard equals 1116, okay? It really does look like we're converging here on an important time, especially considering the fact that these 2 dates right here are the exact dates that Antioch Epiphanes fulfilled the abomination of desolation type in his time, okay? All right, God bless you guys. Pray on this and let me know if you've received any dreams or if you've received anything. God bless you all, and I hope to see you in the sky.